We haven't heard from too many Browns fans about Deshaun Watson at all.
Nope. Been eerily quiet.
You know what? It's kind of wild. Like, Hoskins, you showed this photograph, I think, when Peter King came in, the introductory press conference of Watson standing there with his New Jersey and his general manager and his coach. Can you put that up? Because I just think in this Instagram world that we live in, and you look at somebody's Instagram account and you're like, wow, that person seems happy. Wow, that person seems like they're having a great life.
Yeah.
Well, that person seems like there's, and then you have, everybody's a little envious, just like, boy, I'm feeling a little down today. And that person's just having a great time. Well, you have no idea what happens the second before and the second after.
Even in the moment.
Look at this. There's Andrew Berry smiling and Stefanski smiling, Deshaun Watson smiling. The only time in the 50 minutes that they cracked a smile. And it was at the end. And anybody who saw that press conference was like, well, that's weird. They're still just going to go through with the holding up of the press conference. And the press conference, the holding up of the jersey. Because the shot we're seeing on the screen right now where the three of them are just staring into the abyss, that was more like it.
Yeah, that was it.
And, and I said it looked like a funeral. And I saw some of the comments of folks who are like, well, it was a serious subject. What else do you want them to do? Do you yuck it up? I'm like, no. I was just saying it looked like a funeral, again, compared to Russell Wilson's introductory press conference, which was a celebration.
Almost every other one.
A celebration. Matt Ryan's introductory press conference, celebration. When you're making an announcement and a signing that looks like a funeral, that could be a sign this is not the right thing to do. But we will see what happens once he gets under center and how much we talk about it and how long we talk about it. And I think it'll be talked about forevermore. But it's kind of funny, like you take a look at, well, not funny, but weird or interesting, yeah. That you see a photograph and it's just like, wow. Like if we had shown you that photograph about a year ago, it's like, wow, the Browns got Deshaun Watson. That's incredible. And look how much, what a day that must have been for Browns fans. And what a day must that have been for
Watson,
and Watson, Stefanski, and that organization. Instead, it was an absolute funeral.
Like Rod Stewart said, man, every picture tells a story, don't it?
And it's the one other thing to keep in mind as this moves forward in the NFL. Keep in mind, and if I'm a Cardinal fan waiting to hear and you're nervous about the way Kyler Murray feels about you, and he came out last week at an appearance and said, I'm a Cardinal, and so on and so forth. But whatever was happening that caused him to restore his Instagram account as full on archive, all of his archived photos, and whatever might be happening to make him feel like I'm happy to go about and talk about it, me being a Cardinal and everything like that. Whatever might have been happening between his agent and the front office and the parameters being discussed, hammering out the framework of a deal. That framework got torn down, got destroyed by the tornado that was $230 million guaranteed dollars bestowed to somebody with 22 civil cases. And you could sit here and say, you could even be the one to say, this is untrue and Watson is being unfairly pilloried. You could absolutely say that. You might be, looking for a chorus to say it with you, but you can easily say that. When it comes down to it, though, that's the reality of the situation. And the Browns said, here's the contract. There's the dotted line, $230 million guaranteed dollars. We are going to put an escrow check for 180 some odd million bucks in the bank come next year. And we're going to put all that scratch in the bank for you. And every dynamic, young, stud quarterback that's looking for a new contract from his team, if it's not every penny Jackson guaranteed, Lamar,
he's up next, right?
Kyler, name it. Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, name it. If any of the young quarterbacks from last year have a huge quantum leap in year two, if it's Mac Jones, if it's Trevor Lawrence, if it's Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, okay, any of them, they will already be saying their agent will already be sitting there saying, if every penny isn't guaranteed, we've got a problem. Because the Browns did it for a guy with all of that hanging over his head and didn't even play football for an entire year before it. Yeah. And traded up all of those draft choices so they had the right to give him this deal. And you're not doing it for my guy who has no problems in the community, nothing at all, is only one masseuse, and is one person who is so great. You're not going to guarantee every penny for him, but your colleague in Cleveland did it for Deshaun? Well, we got a problem. As a matter of fact, wait a minute. Let me bust out the stationery and send out a whole treatise about it to the community. That's happening right now. Potentially in Arizona. It's all behind the scenes. But whatever framework might have even been an idea of what potentially hammered out, whatever numbers kind of got thrown around just as an opening volley.
Better throw some new numbers.
Over in the same way that Tyreek Hill's contract with the Chiefs apparently was over the minute Devontae Adams signed for all that cash in Vegas. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.